Hey guys, welcome to a new video. And till the last video we have seen how we can send messages to this Telegram group using the Telegram API. In this video I want to develop something which will notify us of the new messages in the Telegram group. And for this we are going to use a feature of this Telegram API known as Webhook. So we are going to expose an endpoint out in the open, like anyone can access it in the internet. So I'll simply say caption this hahaha. And then what this will do is it will notify this endpoint, our endpoint, which is in the internet. Telegram API has access to it, and then it will notify it using a webhook. And webhook is nothing but a trigger. You can say whenever there is a new message in this group, it will simply call our web server. So let's talk about this web server. We already created this web server, but we want this web server to be hosted for everyone to access. I mean, this is actually a requirement of Telegram, because Telegram won't know what localhost 3000 is, right? Because Telegram doesn't know your public IP address. I mean, everyone in this world can have a localhost 3000 in their machines, but Telegram won't know which localhost to access. But we don't want a domain name, and I don't want to get into all the trouble of hosting it on a DigitalOcean server or an AWS EC2 instance. So the route we are going to take is a bit different. So it involves a software called ngrok. So if you go to ngrok.com, you will be presented with this software. So what it basically does is you run a command like ngrok http 3000. What this will do is it will give you an endpoint. So this is the endpoint which it creates. So it contains a subdomain and then ngrok.io. So whenever someone hits this endpoint, it will go to ngrok servers. So it will go to ngrok servers, and then ngrok will know, because it has a client running on your local machine. It will know that, okay, whenever there is a client, whenever there is a request on this URL, I am supposed to transfer that request or tunnel that request back to this particular localhost client. And we are not going to go into how this works, and probably I'll cover it in a different video. Let's just say that it works. So it will give us a URL, and we are going to use this URL in our Telegram API for creating that webhook. So let's see how we can do that. So first we are going to install this. So let's click this get started for free, and it wants me to sign up. So let me just sign up with Google. Okay, so after resetting my account for ngrok, because who remembers their password for ngrok account? And I'm back in my dashboard. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to download this binary, or this ngrok package. I'm going to copy this Linux link because I have a Linux machine in my other room to which I'm currently SSH'd into. So I will do wget and then this URL. It will download this into this folder. So while that is downloading, let's see the next step. So the next step is to unzip this. Okay, and then I need to connect my accounts. So this auth token is something which is unique to your account, and you're not supposed to share it. I will probably delete it or somehow deauthorize it. And yeah, so the next step is to just start this, and it should run. So we'll try to do this as well, but let's see if the download is complete, and it is. So let's first unzip it. Okay, now let me see. I have unzipped it, and this is a binary, and we can run it. So let's try to do this command, and I'll authorize this. So it says that auth token has been saved into some configuration file, which is good for me. I'll clear this. And to fire it up, we need to do ngrok and then http 80. So currently there is nothing running on my port 80, but let's try to do this. Or I can do one thing, I'll start our server. So let me quickly create a new server, or a new shell, and then here I'll do node bin www. Hopefully it should work. And I think we gave the port number as 1234, so it will be working there. And then it says ngrok http, so I'll copy this http and then 1234, because that is the port on which we are running currently. So it just gave me a random URL, and if I click follow this URL, Let me simply copy this URL, and if I go to this URL, the request should come to our local machine, and I think it does. So these are logs from, not sure where these logs are from, but we'll go to our server, and yeah, these are exactly the logs which we were expecting. Let me try the HTTPS one, because we are going to need a secure connection. So yeah, this works. So whenever I hit this URL, it is going to my local machine and it is hitting my local server, which is running on port 1234. So now we don't have to worry about deploying our application onto some cloud provider. The next step is to look at the Telegram API. So Telegram bot API, and it says that in order to get updates, actually there's an endpoint called set webhook. So there's this method called set webhook, which is going to set a webhook endpoint for your bot. So whenever there's a message in this group, so this bot will then go to Telegram API and let the Telegram API know, okay, there has been a new message in this group. So what the Telegram API will do is then check whether there's a webhook associated with that bot or not. If there's a webhook associated, it will pull that webhook URL, and whatever data it has received from the bot, like this caption and probably the message to which it was replied to, it will send that message to this webhook endpoint, and we are going to see how exactly the message structure looks like. Okay, so how we can set the webhook? We can simply make a request to this Telegram API, and we can specify that we want to set a webhook, and then we are going to send a parameter which is going to be the URL. So let's see how we can do that. So there's this curl, and then I need to pass pass a parameter. So that's -f, and then it is going to be URL equal to whatever URL that we are going to pass. So currently our URL is this, and it is going to be a webhook. So /webhook. We have not yet created this /webhook endpoint, but we are going to create it soon, and it should be webhook. Okay, and what else? So we are going to have to provide the API endpoint, and the API endpoint we can get from here, api.telegram.com/bot. So I'll paste it, and then we need the bot token. So I'll go to .env file, grab this bot token, paste it here, and the endpoint is set webhook. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it says webhook is set. So the next step is that we send something in this group and we see it in our console. So for that we need to create this webhook endpoint. So I'll quickly go here and create a new file called webhook.js, and I'll go and simply copy everything from here. I want to reply with nothing, and I want to log the body of the request, and that's basically it. And I'll go to app.json to register this route, and I'll simply copy this. This is going to be webhook route, and I'm going to register this as app.use webhook. So any requests that come as /webhook, they will directly go to this webhook router. So let's try to run this node bin www, and it should work. Okay, so it says that they will send a post request. So instead of get, this should actually be post. And let's restart the server. And this won't work because we have removed the get request, so it will throw an error, which is fine. But now let's see what happens if we reply to this image. I'll simply say caption, a good stick. Great. So you can see we got the response, Not sure why we got 2, but that is fine. Okay, so we got all of the responses. So this one we sent a while ago, and then this one we sent just now. We are getting the response or the body of that object. Awesome. So let's see what are the things that we have in here. Message ID, we don't need this. Okay, this is my username, and you can add me on Telegram if you want to. And then this is the chat ID. Okay, this is important, or maybe because we have only one group, this is also not important. But this is the message that we have replied to, and this is a text of the message object. So as you can see, this is the text that I sent, and great. So we are getting everything. Now there are a couple of things that I need to do. I need to process this message and then create a object that is postable to Instagram. I'm not sure if postable is a word or not. Uh, Tell me in comments whether this is a word or not, but let's try to process this. So I'll create a function, or I'll simply create new service. So what are we going to call this? Let's say request handler dot service .js. Okay, it will contain first of all a function which is going to be handle request. It will get a request object, which is this object which we just saw. And first of all, it is going to log that request object, and it is simply going to say a new request arrived. What are we going to do with this request object? So we want to extract some information from this request object. One thing is we want this text, and then we also want this text, which is the image that we want to post. So const image to be posted is going to be request dot, let's name this message, then message dot uh, reply to message. Okay, reply to message dot text. And if this is not present, we are simply going to return. So if not this, simply return because there's no point. Then message dot text, right? Actually message dot message. So probably not a good idea to name this one as message. So I'll change this and I'll rename it to request. Let's keep it request. And then request dot message dot reply to message is not present, then we are going to return. And yeah, so this is our object that we want to use. So let me just log this. So console.log and image, let's say image URL, and it will be image to be posted, and then caption is going to be image caption. And then we are going to do module.export, and we are going to export this handle request function, and the same message we are going to import it here, the same function I mean to say. And let's do this. Const handle request is equal to, and I want you to handle this request. So I want you to handle request dot body. Now we'll close the server, we'll restart the server, and let me just bring Telegram side by side. Let me clear this console. Great. Okay, so this node server is running, and then this Telegram is obviously running. So let's reply to this message that caption is going to be hi. So we are running this function, a new request has arrived, and then we have the image to be posted, we have the caption, and we are also logging it. Great. So now we are able to capture all the messages that we are sending into this group. Perfect. And there are a couple of things that I want to do. Like let's say you mistakenly sent a message in this group which you didn't want to send. Let's say you reply to this and you just randomly posted something, but this does not look like a caption. I mean, this could be anything, or there are multiple friends in your in this group, and then they replied to some of the message, but that is not supposed to be posted. So how we can avoid that? So what I'm thinking is, if I mean, this is supposed to be a caption, or this is supposed to be only posted to Instagram if you reply to this image in a specific format. So that format would be caption and then your caption basically. So your caption here. So we will receive this caption as caption and then your caption here. So what we can do here is dot split and split it on the basis of colon. So it will separate it into two entities. One would be the caption, and then the second one would be your caption here. You can check if dot length is greater than 1. If the length is greater than 1, then let's not do that here. So we'll do it somewhere else. Let's create a separate if else block. So if, so this means that there is a caption, else we would simply want to return this is not in specific format. Or what we can do is send a message back to the group. Send a message back to the group. For sending a message to the group, we can use again this Telegram service, and it simply requires a message, and in here we simply say we want to send a message that you probably forgot to send the message in a proper format. Your caption. Great. And then this means that there is a caption, so we want to extract that caption. So what was our caption? This was. So I'm going to copy it from here, cut it from here, and then initialize it with empty string, and then this image caption is going to be, I'm writing it very poorly, this can be heavily optimized, but let's just say that this is the best we can do right now. And this would be the first, and I can also do trim. I think that is what it's called, yeah. So it will remove white spaces if there are any. So let's try to test this now. I'll clear the console once again. Let's reply to this message. First, some gibberish. You probably forgot to send your message. Perfect. This is what we wanted. And then let's reply properly. Caption. Assignment. You guys are probably laughing at me. That's okay. Okay, now that we have fixed it, we immediately get I mean, Telegram basically retries it for a respectable number of times. I think it will try for 24 hours. It will continuously ping your webhook endpoint and see whether it can send you that message. And if they are not able to send, then after 24 hours they will drop. Anyways, so we got this message, and if we try again, caption something, so we'll get this something. And what you can also do is you can filter it by anything. I've just done length, but I can also do and I can check whether this is a caption or not. So I can check I can check if the 0th index is equal to, it can do caption, and then I want to first trim. So that is a function, and then to lower, come on, lowercase. Yeah, so this is a function. So what this will do is it will check whether the first string is caption or not. Let's save this, restart this, reply it as caption. Hi, this should work. It's not working. Okay, blend, and it is caption. Let's remove the double e. Okay, what the hell is this doing here? Again, you guys can laugh at me, but yeah, I make these silly mistakes and then spend 1 hour or 2 hours in debugging. So I deserve to be laughed upon. Let's test this one more time. Caption hi. Perfect, we got the proper response. And let's see, come on. Let's reply with something gibberish. Yeah, you probably forgot to send the message in a proper format. Great, so this is working, and we have successfully uh, created a webhook or set up a webhook. Now the next step would be this optimization service, and how we can create this optimization service to finally send this to Instagram. So there are two more videos remaining, or two more parts to it. One would be for the optimization service, and the second one would be the final video where we post this to Instagram, and that is going to be a great one. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, please also hit the like button, and see you guys in the next one.